33 years of age, younger brother of Joey Cora, who played in the league for quite a while. We're underway at 7:08 p.m. Cloudy skies, chance of rain, 63 degrees. Alex Cora, a .245 career hitter in 11 major league seasons with the Dodgers, the Indians, the Red Sox, and now the Mets.
Now, he's definitely a glove man, more so than a hitter, but he's having a good season so far.
On base average of .418, 8-game hitting streak, and he's batting .321. Home plate umpire is 22-year veteran Jim Joyce. Brian Runge at first, crew chief Darryl Cousins, 31st year at second base, and DJ Rayburn is the junior member of the crew, and a 2-2 pitch fouled away. The Mets are still second in the league in batting average despite all their injuries. They're hitting .279. Only the Dodgers at .282 or higher. They're seventh in runs, third from the bottom in home runs, ahead of only Pittsburgh and San Francisco. Martis changeup, 3-2. Luis Castillo, Carlos Beltran to follow here. And the Mets are always tough to pitch to at the top of Jerry Manuel's order because they have switch hitters and they match up well against anybody. He just challenged him and got a pop-up out behind shortstop for Christian Guzman.
Well, the thing about Chiron Martis is he throws well over 90 miles an hour, so there's no reason why he can't challenge more guys like Alex Cora at the top, the bottom of the Mets order, and use the breaking ball and the changeup more so in the middle of the order to keep the power guys at bay.
The Mets have 4 batters in their order tonight who have not hit a home run.
And there you go, 93 miles an hour. He just poured it right in there.
Castillo is one of them. Beltran has 7. David Wright only has 3. David Murphy has 4. Fernando Tatis has 2. So there might not be a big reason to be messing around with a lot of off-speed stuff tonight, although he certainly wants to mix it in.
No, he's already mixed all his pitches up. I mean, he's showing him the curveball, showing him the breaking ball. I mean, the changeup, excuse me. And that's something we've talked about. Tim Lincecum didn't throw a curveball for the second time through the lineup.
Yeah. And against a lineup like this, I don't know why you would.
And he's throwing so well. Northrop Grumman right here, 92, moving fastball, 92 with movement, maybe the hardest pitch in the big leagues to hit.
A little body English by Jim Joyce. I thought he might punch out the hitter there for a second, and now Martis goes to another 3-2 count.
That's what Luis Castillo does best. Doesn't try to swing a whole lot. He's just trying to put the ball in play with a little slap here, slap there.
Coming off an off season when he hit only .245, we know he's better than that, and he'll just pull that ball right to former Met Anderson Hernandez. 2 outs. Now it gets tougher, but you like facing these guys with the bases empty. Carlos Beltran leading the league at .356. He was batting .400 most of April. Martis with a good 91-mile-an-hour fastball away. Beltran remarkably consistent from both sides of the plate. .354 right-handed, .356 lefty. Looks like a tight little strike zone tonight. Three and 1. 3 consecutive batters with at least a 3-ball count. Evidently Citi Field's not to his liking that much. .291 respectable, but he's been nails on the road. And he continues to do it. That ball is off the base of the scoreboard.
He's going 3.
He's going 3, and there's a play. And he's going to be out. Anderson Hernandez gunning out Beltran at third, and you just wonder if Beltran thought that ball was gone and maybe didn't run hard the entire way around. The Mets done in the first. 4, 5. That's a really bad mistake by a veteran player. Should have been standing up at third with 2 outs with David Wright coming up. And now Tim Redding, the former Nat, 34 and 53 career, goes to work against a Washington lineup 4th in the league at 266. Missing a low to Guzman. Tim Redding, bad ERA. In his 3 starts, he's gone 6, 4 2/3, and 4 innings. His first start at LA, 2 earned runs in 6 innings, by far his best. And I've mentioned this before. Tim Redding won 10 games for the Nationals last year with a 4.95 ERA.
Well, and you never know, and Chen-Ming Wong had a problem after he broke his foot last year, but Redding at the end of last season had a calcium deposit removed from the joint of his 2nd toe on his left foot. Not making an excuse, I'm just saying. It's your landing leg, maybe he's having trouble with it.
Guzman's ball heading for the barrier, but David Wright gets there. And Christian Guzman continues to hit the ball in the air quite a bit lately. Let's have a look at the Nats lineup. 4th in league, as I said, in hitting. Now down to 6th in runs and 5th in homers. The team is slumping a bit, but not Nick Johnson. He's been amazing against the Mets. He's the 8th leading hitter in the league, who has the 6th highest on base percentage in the league. Boy, did he have 2 great swings against Randy Johnson last night?
Yes, he did.
Up and away for a ball. Nick's hit safely 20 of his last 23 games. 345 over nearly the last month. Two and 0. To Nick, who's walked 32 times this year, almost as many times as he has struck out, 34. Tim Redding this year, 10 strikeouts, 10 walks in 15 innings. He's given up 15 earned runs on 18 hits. I know Don Sutton always used to consider him a power pitcher, but Redding seemed content for a couple of years here to nibble at the corners. He's got a good riding fastball, although 89 is not as hard as he was throwing when he was here.
Let's give you the breakdown. Just wait on him. If you wait the 1-0 count, hitters are hitting 448 off of him. If you don't, 0-1, they're hitting just 208. Mr. Dependable, 28 of his 33 starts last year went 5 innings or more. He does not like pitching here. 6 and 7 with a 5.6.
Nick Johnson gets under 1 and pops it into center field. Carlos Beltran okay to cruise on that play. 2 outs.
Well, you don't want him to drop that after he got thrown out at third.
The Mets are in the bottom 4 in the league defensively. They've made 40 errors. They have a rookie, Fernando Martinez, in his 2nd big league week in right field. Cora and Castillo up the middle. Daniel Murphy getting playing time at first base was Carlos Delgado hurt. And there's our old friend Brian Schneider. Brian went to Florida to nurse his bad back. And then while he was down there, he had all kinds of problems with his calf. He actually tore a calf muscle, and that kept him out a lot longer. Brian's only played in 9 games for the Mets this year. He and Jordan have a new baby. He wanted us to tell all of our fans that they're doing great. And Jordan was one of the great members of our first ladies group here when Brian was a National, and still very much liked, very much admired and respected by our fans here. 2-0 to Zimmerman, hitting .321. Ryan's only 5 for his last 31. Takes that breaking ball to right field, hit it on the end of the bat, and Fernando Martinez is there. We did have one good pitch. Darryl Green, the former Redskin, he actually shook off Will Nieves once. and then threw it in there. No, that was Willie Harris, pardon me. Interesting Friday, Rob. You got to get into the D.C. neighborhood and visit with some great kids.
Well, being married to a former school teacher, my wife has me now involved in the inner city projects here in D.C. And General Colin Powell spoke at Furby Hope Community School in southeastern Washington, D.C. And it was career day. There was a lot of people over there, surgeons and military attorneys. And then there was this Nationals broadcaster that works for Masson that used to throw baseball, and so I went out there and told him how important reading, writing, arithmetic, and even typing, computers and things like that, and how important, even if you're an athlete, that you need to know.
Yeah, we called it typing. I think they call it keyboarding now.
Keyboarding.
And I did hear that a certain World Series ring got passed around the classroom.
Always. I mean, I'm not big on it. I'm not materialistic. I just wore it so they could see it. But the point being that it was a short career. I was retired by 31 years old, and now I've been broadcasting for 12 years. But it was a great speech by General Powell as he talked about growing up in New York. Went to all public schools, didn't get to go to West Point and things like that.
And Christian Guzman stood there and watched Adam Dunn battle the wind, which is coming straight in from left field.
I'll finish that story in a minute. This is another lack of communication right here between our infield and our outfield, and that ball's got to be caught. Way too much airtime.
Adam Dunn was playing deep.
Yeah, but look at the hang time. We could probably count the seconds.
See, he's running hard most of the way.
Well, I think he thought that ball was so shallow that Christian would be going for it, and once he saw that Christian wasn't, it was too late. He had to hustle, but it was all for naught at the end.
So the Nationals gift wrap a base hit for David Wright. And we've seen two veteran players rather embarrassed by not going all out, Beltran and Guzman here so far.
Well, and that's funny because Carlos Beltran, after the 11-6 loss to the Pirates yesterday, Bob, he came out and said, we embarrassed ourselves. And we should be embarrassed by being swept by the Pirates. We need to start playing a little bit better. And then that happens in the first inning where he's Cadillacing it around thinking it was a home run. You can never assume anything in this game. And we just saw two plays in the first inning.
Yeah, if David Wright was Cadillacing, he wouldn't be on second base. Elijah Dukes after that ball. Runners going. Here comes the throw. And safe.
Man, that was an early call.
Barely safe. And Manny's going to argue. I think he's sick and tired of seeing every call go against his ball club.
He called them safe, though, Bob, before he even laid the tag down. Yep, I don't need to read lips. I know what Manny's saying right now. You made the call while the guy was just starting his dive.
That's the second base umpire, Daryl Cousins.
Check this out. Great throw right here by Elijah Dukes, by the way. Right on line. And watch the umpire right there. He calls him safe before he even sees the whole play. Here you go. I think we got him. There's the tag.
I don't see that.
There's
hand
our
on a
zoom
bag.
camera zooming in right there.
Unless Zimmerman missed the tag, he was out.
Once again, even the umpires, you can't assume that he made that play right there. Great job, guys.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, he's out.
When is this going to end?
It's not going to end. I mean, it's just, it's unfortunate that you assume that he got in there, but look at the tag. Good 6 inches from the bag.
We thought Larry Vanover's crew had a nightmare in New York. This is Daryl Cousins' crew. He's the crew chief who made that call.
No, but you have plenty of time to watch the entire play, let it develop, let it finish, and then make a call.
2 balls and a strike to Fernando Tatis. And here's where Martis can't be afraid to pitch to contact. As you mentioned, Rob, he has tipped a lot of his entire repertoire here early. He could throw a fastball by this guy.
Well, this guy's got slider bat speed. You don't want to throw him breaking balls and slow stuff.
This is the 6th Met batter, and Murphy was the only one that did not go to a 3-ball count before he flied out to Dukes. Now it's 3-2. So he's been 3 balls on 5 hitters, full count on 4 of them. Target in, Tatis fouls it away.
Like I said before, it's only his 15th major league start, and once he gets a little bit more confidence and he's more self-assured and he says, listen, I know you can't hit my fastball. It's 92, 93. Here it is. You're not going to hit it.
Ground ball will score a run. Guzman to his left. Out. Barely. 2 down. And an RBI for Fernando Tatis. And the Nationals' failure to catch a pop fly costing them a run here in the 2nd.
It's a bang-bang play right here. See, now he might have been safe at first.
That call could have gone either way.
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't always look at instant replay.
It's the worst thing that's ever happened to umpires and officials in other sports. Here's Fernando Martinez, who went 0 for 8 to start his major league career, including some of that against the Nats. And then he's gone 6 for his last 19. He was called up last week when Ryan Church went on the DL. So he's hitting .222. Martis just cannot get outs early in the count, with the exception of 1 hitter tonight. And that ball flied to left. The wind's going to push it probably out of play, and it does hit just over the barrier. You will not see a fielder on that side of the ballpark assume anything now for the rest of the night, because it's a pretty stiff breeze. It almost feels like it's the middle of April here, the way the wind is coming right down Half Street from the Navy Yard station and blowing right directly at us into the park.
And by the way, while I was doing my inner city work today, the Mets and their chairman and chief executive officer Fred Wilpon and Omar Minaya, they all went over to Walter Reed Medical Center. So they did some really nice stuff in our community today.
A lot of the visiting teams do that, and we appreciate that.
Yep.
3-2 again, and a walk.
No, bottom of the order.
The thing I'm concerned about for this game, Rob, is Martis' 2nd time around the batting order, because they've seen everything he has.
Well, it's like, you know, showing your hand in poker. You don't want to show it too early. You want to leave a little bit of mystery out there and intrigue.
And here's Brian Schneider, now 32 years of age, and he takes one that misses.
Well, and I think also it's kind of a game within a game as a starter, where see if you can get through the order the first time with just your fastball. You know, use some 4-seamers, use some 2-seamers, run the ball up and in, down and away. I mean, you know, why do you have to always rely on your 2nd and 3rd best pitch?
Yeah.
And we've seen it cost him dearly, especially against the Phillies and Ryan Howard. Why not just, hey, tonight I'm going to try something different? Because also the scouting reports on Martis, I'm sure, are getting around the league that, hey, first time through the lineup, he's going to every one of his pitches.
Fastball away, 2-1.
Well, you need a few of those calls, though. That's a nice pitch. He threw another one the first inning on the inner half. That was a strike.
Brian Schneider's best season as the Nats. He really had 2 good years. 268, 10 homers, 44 RBIs in 05. And then the following year, 256, and he drove in 55 runs. And that year he hit 344 for the Nats after the 5th of September. In 07, tailed off to 235 and then was traded with Ryan Church.
Yeah, who do we get for Church and Snyder?
Lastings Millage. Brian had signed a 4-year contract with the Nats on January 17th of 06. So he is signed through this year. Martis had him reaching out to second, Anderson Hernandez. That'll do it for the Mets, but that inning was a lot longer than it had to be. Adam Dunn leads off, Dukes and Kearns to follow in the second.
Like this can of corn, I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. And drop it off right here at the center field gate. It's going to benefit the Capital Area Food Bank that distributes more than 20,000 pounds of food throughout the district.
Well done, Debbie. We need to see that basket a lot more full. And now we truly know what a can of corn is. Bottom of the second.
Top shelf.
Top shelf.
Might fall on your head. Bang.
Like to see Adam Dunn go top shelf here against Tim Redding, who's given up 2 homers. The shift is on. They're straight away, though, in the outfield. And a breaking ball for a strike. Adam Dunn is 5 for his last 33. Ryan Zimmerman 5 for his last 32. And Guzman 9 for his last 51. So 3 of the top 4 hitters in this lineup are cold.
And Chiron Martis is already up to 47 pitches, Bob, in the second inning.
Yeah. And he's 1 batter short of being through the order for the first time. One and 2 to Dunn, who's hit 16 home runs. And a fastball up and away by Tim Redding.
I talked to Don Cooper, the pitching coach with the White Sox. They're 5th in pitching in the American League right now. And he told me today, this is their philosophy in Chicago, if you aren't attacking the hitter with your first 3 pitches, what are you doing out there?
Great question.
So his point being, he's trying to cut down on their pitch counts in their innings so that they can stretch their outings out deeper into the game, 7th and 8th inning.
3-2 to Dunn. Redding completely misses his spot. Adam Dunn walks for the 42nd time this year, second most in the league to Albert Pujols, 43, and the Nats have their first base runner.
You know, Rob, I really didn't want a piece of Adam Dunn right there.
But that's a great story you bring up. And I'm just wondering, I was talking to some of the Mets guys earlier, and we were talking about the Texas Rangers and what Nolan Ryan is doing. And baseball people who've been around the game now for a number of years like we have, they are loving hearing that a ball club's doing this. And I think we're seeing the start of what you might call a grassroots campaign that's going to gather more momentum and get more publicity as it keeps on happening, because a lot of people find this very refreshing.
Well, and Don Cooper, and he's been around since '88 in that organization in Chicago. He said, listen, you know, these pitch counts, you're getting to 120 pitches by the 6th inning. You're just going to help yourself and your club. He would like to see his starters go all the way to his closer, Bobby Jenks. He doesn't even want to have to bring in a setup guy.
Dukes is going to have to hustle or be doubled up, and they're going to get him on a 6-4-3 with Cora, Castillo, and Murphy teaming up.
And it's also funny, I got to speak to Hall of Famer Phil Niekro after Randy Johnson getting his 300th victory. The only one older than Randy Johnson to get 300 was Phil Niekro, inducted into the Hall of Fame in '97. And he said that in his 40s, he won more games in his 40s than his 20s, because he didn't get a win until he was 26. Won 121 games in his 40s. And he said, listen, wow, I didn't throw hard. I kept myself in shape. He said, but after 130 pitches, I didn't want to see the pitching coach come walking out in my 40s and say, are you tired, old man? He said, I didn't even want to see that guy. I don't want to know what I'm throwing. He said, I just wanted to try to win ball games.
Here's Kearns. In Austin, another struggling hitter. He is 8 for his last 50. Well, Manny said today Austin's been putting a lot of extra time in the batting cage. He and Rick Eckstein are trying to get his hands back away from his body so he can extend and hit the ball hard. Austin has a tendency to keep those hands in real close, and he doesn't get the pitches like that sometimes.
Well, that was a very short swing. Glad to see that right there. Just take that right back up the box. You don't have to try to hit everything for a home run and try to kill every ball. He's so big and strong that I truly believe he doesn't even have to move his lower body, and I think he could hit home runs.
Right.
So if he just makes contact with the ball a little bit more, he's going to be hitting bullets all over the field.
Here's Josh Bard.
It's the same with Justin Maxwell. Justin Maxwell goes down to the minor leagues, shorten up that swing, take some more things to right field. He's right back up here.
Two and 0. A little misty here at the ballpark now that we can see some moisture starting to blow in from left field.
Play misty for me. It's messing up my hair.
Didn't she say, play misty for me?
Oh, what a great movie. Clint Eastwood was in some great movies.
That was scary, man. Josh Bard will pop it up left side. The wind's going to move it over toward the foul line. It's a foul ball when David Wright makes the catch, and the Nats are gone in the second. They've stranded one, and the Mets lead by 1. When the Mets played the Nationals, they've been given a gift or two. Here's our Coors Light freeze frame. It's the world's most refreshing beer. Elijah Duke's a great throw, Rob, and you will see a runner who is
freeze it. There's the freeze cam. I think we got him. We got him.
And the crew chief coming over from second base, Daryl Cousins, missed the call. Because of that, the Nationals trail 1-0. Brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Top of the third, Tim Redding, 1 for 3 this year. He's a 151 career hitter. Tim's always been able to swing the bat a little.
Big kid.
10 career RBIs. 5'11", 230.
He's 5'11"?
Yeah, Tim's not that tall. It's
really. He's
very solid.
He's a brick.
Tim is from the Rochester area. Lives in Michigan now, and a pitch up, and it's fouled off to the right side.
Rochester Red Wings. You know, they were the AAA affiliate of the Orioles for many, many years.
Many years. I think St. Louis was in there before that. Tim Redding, 27 pitches, 13 strikes through 2 pretty solid innings on the mound, and he will be gone. Chiron Martis, first strikeout. Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Most wins by major league rookies, and that Porcello kid with the Tigers is really good. I think he was the rookie pitcher of the month in the American League, wasn't he, for May?
I think you're correct.
Alex Cora, the hitter.
We've got 3 teams in the American League Central in the top 5 in pitching: Kansas City, Detroit, and the White Sox.
Interesting that Martis and Zimmerman are in the top 10 in the league in rookie ERA at 5.62 and 5.71. Just goes to show how tough it is for first-year pitchers. J.A. Happ's on that group. Kawakami, the Japanese veteran, now with the Braves, is in that group.
How about the Braves getting Nate McLeod from the Pirates for 3 players?
Yeah, nice going, Frank Wren.
Yeah. Frank Wren just get it done. Gorgeous Hernandez, Jeff Locke, and Charlie Morton for Nate McLeod. John
Sherholtz used to be very aggressive in giving Bobby Cox what he needed to win during that great 14-year run of theirs. Well, here's Martis on 0-2, throwing one outside.
Garrett Anderson and Jeff Francoeur not getting it done down there, so they had to get some offensive help. 6.5 runs of run support per start. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and Braden Looper, he must be hosting a team dinner every week at Ruth's Chris. 7-11, and he's winning ball games over there.
Javier Vasquez getting 6-9, almost 7 runs a game.
Oh gosh, Cole Hamels a complete game last night. Outside 2-2. Alex Cora popped up to short first time up.
Also talked to Don Cooper about tempo, because Mark Burley is one of the fastest working pitchers in the major leagues. He has all his younger pitchers sit on the bench and watch Burley pitch and see how the defense plays better when Burley's on the mound and throws. And he's off to a 6-1 start over there in Chicago, but in 11 starts, he says he averages about 2 hours a start. So he has his younger guys trying to just up their tempo and just get the ball, get on the mound, and throw strikes. Be aggressive.
Not what Chiron is doing tonight.
He's nibbling, boy.
61 pitches, and he's retired 7 batters. Really only 6. The other guy was retired by not hustling on the bases. Carlos Beltran at third, ending the first inning for the Mets.
Well, Greg Maddux, just to give you a for instance, and he's at 62 pitches now. Greg Maddux, for most of his career, less than 80 pitches per start. per 9 innings.
That's unbelievable.
Every year it was right around 77, 78 pitches. So it's not just, you know, saying throw strikes, but it's be economical, get some ground ball outs, get some fly ball outs, get yourself in the dugout and get your offense out there.
Only one batter has seen fewer than 5 pitches. And that was Daniel Murphy, who flied to center on that play where Dukes threw out David Wright at third, but he was called safe.
He's working hard. And, I don't know, you have to work so hard.
There's a walk. Second of the game. And Chiron is not going to keep himself in this ball game very long. Get your red on, and here's what's being talked about around the ballpark. The Grand Slam Flex plan. Buy 4 games, you get 1 free. 5 different plans to choose from. They include a game when the Red Sox come in. So pick your plan, your games, your seats, and get a free game at 202-675-NATS or nationals.com/Grand Slam. If you type in salami, you might end up at one of the concession stands. So go with the formal name, Grand Slam. 1 on, 1 out. Luis Castillo tough to double up. Nationals defensive guys doing a lot of standing around right now. Change up misses. Right now, you kind of feel about Chiron's start the way you feel about the weather. It's a little calm, and something might be brewing here because Beltran and Wright are coming up, and he's having pitching issues as far as control. Another changeup, and he got a good location there.
Look at this delivery on our Exmo camera, 500 frames per second.
And we have a very distinguished visitor in the booth tonight.
Mo!
The Exmo camera is in the booth. We wanted to keep it dry on this evening, and it'll give you some dramatic looks at what's going on right down below us. So when you see that Exmo, that's a close-up view of what we're looking at from the level we call 7th heaven up here.
And we got Keith Hernandez next to us. We'll get some of that just for men for you, Mo. Dude, you tighten up that beard, you look about 40.
Keith Hernandez, Mr.
I'm sorry, Mo. There's Keith.
Keith's looking good, man.
I love Keith.
I'd say there's a guy who calls it like he sees it. And a 1-2 pitch. Fastball just missing. Ground ball, could be 2. Guzman turns it. Martis challenged him with an 89-mile-an-hour heater and got a double play ball to save some more pitches here in the top of the 3rd. Mets lead 1-0.
Hernandez is hitting .326 with 12 runs batted in his last 29 games, and that's something that Manny Acta likes to see from the bottom of his order.
He's been huge doing that. I mean, turning the lineup over. He's done that a lot. He's gotten some big hits out of the 8th hole with the pitcher behind him, which is it's very tough to do because teams don't tend to just lay it in there when they have the pitcher on deck, especially with 2 outs. And he had some good at bats out of the 8th hole, and that's something that every manager appreciates.
Anderson told me that he's not doing anything differently. He's just seeing the ball well.
Tried to bunt his way aboard there.
I'm thinking he's safe right here. Let's see. No. Tim did get him just by a millistep. This is a nice idea right here. Just gets him. Watch out.
But Manny's
side of the bag.
Yeah. Bang, bang. Good call by Brian Runge.
There you go.
But Manny's point well taken on Debbie's report there. Over that time, Anderson Hernandez, those 31 hits, including 6 doubles, a triple, 12 RBIs, 11 walks. He's been getting on base. And however you can do that as the #8 hitter in this league, that is huge. So here's Chiron Martis, who can swing the bat. He's 5 for 20 with 2 RBIs and 2 sacrifice bunts this year. He stands in there like a regulation hitter. You can tell by our camera shot, it's gotten very misty here at the ballpark. This has nothing to do with your TV or with Masson's
your TV.
Yeah, Masson's signal. This is what it looks like from center field. In fact, to us up here, the Capitol Dome is merely a silhouette now. And the umbrellas are out again after it rained nearly all day here. We understand the weather will be nicer for the weekend. We hope you can come down to the ballpark and join us tomorrow and Sunday.
And give the grounds crew a ton of credit. They took the tarp off about 4 hours before game time. We're scraping the field of all the mud and then put down that diamond dry.
Diamond dry, turfus, whatever you want to call it.
Turfus. I like kitty litter. Or the stuff you sop up oil in your garage.
And I would imagine your garage has quite a bit of oil in it.
It has none. I keep a clean. That's where I'm probably the cleanest, is my garage.
Well, here we're going to tell you about the Family Fun Pack. It's on Sundays, starting at $14 a ticket. If you want to sit upstairs, come on downstairs for $25. A ticket includes a hot dog, drink, and chips. Nationals.com, 888-632-NATS. By the way, a little correction from last night. We had some inaccurate information that we got from the Nats media guide. The head groundskeeper's name, who's been helping this thing out all week, is Budgie Clark. We mentioned John Royce last night. John is the assistant head groundskeeper, but we want to make sure that Budgie Clark, who's new to Nationals Park, gets his due, and he has provided great leadership to all those guys down there, just working their tails off all week long.
Spell Budgie.
B-U-D-G-I-E.
I-E?
Yeah.
Never heard that name before.
You okay on Clark?
I'm great on Clark.
Okay. And Guzman has a base hit.
Okay, so anybody who grew up on the East Coast grew up with Fudgy the Whale from Carvel. Here's the slow-mo replay. This is awesome. Bang! Right back up the middle. Moving that back foot a little bit, Christian. Very nice. That's what Ichiro does.
Because I remember a great hitting instructor who really made Derek Lee what he is today, Bill Robinson.
Yep.
He always said a hitter has to have slow feet and fast hands.
I'll tell you, this guy is one of the quietest hitters I've ever seen. What I mean by quiet, he doesn't have a lot of moving parts. He's just very patient. But Elijah Dukes, when we do the slow-mo on Elijah Dukes, Elijah doesn't move. Elijah Dukes is like a statue. He stands there. He's as quiet as anybody I've ever seen.
He really explodes his hands to the ball. The 0-1 to Nick. As the conditions continue to deteriorate, it's important to at least get tied in this game or even take the lead. We saw last night how advantageous it can be to have the lead in the middle innings when that game was called.
I told you yesterday, this is pitching weather. Not a lot of hits. 1-0.
Guzman running. Nick Johnson trying to swing him home with 2 outs.
And I think Manny is on the same wavelength you are. Try to get something working here. 2 outs.
Yeah.
Put the runner in motion. You got a good contact hitter up there. You try to manufacture or steal a run right here and even it up early in the game.
Well, and starting the runner with 2 outs gets him home on a gapper. Good base runner, wet baseball. Nick Johnson, right field. Will it stay fair? It's hooking foul, short of the pole. And Guzman will come back to first. Good thing it did hook foul. It was not far enough to reach the wall.
Well, here's our Exmo right there of Nick Johnson. Beautiful shot.
It's really a unique perspective from up here.
It's awesome.
Our guys in the military would call that a God's eye view of the action. Almost like an AWACS right over the top of the ballpark here. And a 1-2 again. Nick Johnson foul tips it right into the glove of Omir Santos. Nats are done in the third. They've had 2 hits and they've stranded 2 runners. It's a scramble for the baseball. Head over heels. By golly, he got it. By Firestone, a tradition of innovation. And by Canon, the all-new Rebel T1i, now shooting in full HD video, inspired by Canon. Well, baseball cards. I remember we used to go down to the corner drugstore. They were a nickel a pack, 5 cards and a sliver of bubble gum. And if you got doubles, you'd put the clothespin on it and put it in the spokes of your bike and make it sound like a motorcycle. Well, for maybe 3 or 4 minutes it would sound that way. I remember the first time a buddy of mine told me he bought a complete set of cards. I said, "You can do that?" A run on 2 hits for the Mets, no runs on 2 hits for the Nats. Carlos Beltran doubled off the scoreboard in right field and was thrown out jogging to third. Getting to the point now where you see the hitters wiping the rain off of the bills of their helmets. Footing becomes treacherous. And a pop-up. Every play's an adventure tonight. Zimmerman over there helping out Guzman. 1 out.
Check Chiron Martis out here, Bob, from the Exmo. On the first base side of the rubber. Great balance point. Now he separates his hands, gets over that front leg. Everything coming towards home plate.
I saw his toes pop up just a little as if he'd landed on his heel, and the front of his spikes came up before planting. What a great view. Swinging a foul by David Wright. His uniform's dirty pretty often. The ball boy's real busy now keeping home plate umpire Jim Joyce supplied with dry baseballs. David Wright fouls one away. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, see, now they're losing the ball and they need help with each other. You saw a great job, Ryan Zimmerman, on that pop fly to the infield, pointing towards the sky to help Christian Guzman out, because not a lot of people can see the ball once it goes up.
That's Rob Dibble, Debbie Taylor in the ballpark. I'm Bob Carpenter here on Masson HD tonight. First of 3 with the Mets. David Wright, defensive swing. Nick Johnson racing back, but Hernandez has the angle. Anderson plays it perfectly on the foul ball. Nearly an impossible play for a first baseman. We'll give Hernandez a star in the scorebook for covering serious ground on a tough night.
Remember we told you about Nick doing this, that it's easier for the second baseman, and there you see he's got a better angle. He can come around. Here's the X-Mo of that catch. Great job, Mo. And you see Nick getting out of the way. Nick, get out of the way.
Bases empty, 2 outs. Daniel Murphy, the hitter. They brought Murphy up last year in September when everybody was healthy. He actually made it to the big leagues before that, played in 49 games, hit .313, a 13th round draft choice from just 3 years ago. So he was only about 2 years into his professional career when he made it to the big leagues and hit 9 doubles, 3 triples, drove in 17 runs, and got his career off to a great start. He's from Englewood High School in Jacksonville, Florida, and went to Jacksonville State University. That's a school that has popped up in postseason play on occasion. Three and 0, Martis to Murphy. He's got some pop in his bat. Gary Manuel properly with the take sign there. Murphy hit that ball in New York. That was the disputed second home run.
Northrop Grumman here on the pitch track, 3-0. Good movement.
That's a foul ball off of his foot. And Chiron Martis trying to have by far his quickest inning. 19 first inning, 28 second inning, 24 third inning, and he's about to throw his 13th pitch here. Murphy reaching, and that ball slicing out of play. I thought he just scored the winning touchdown in the NFC Championship game. And the 3-2 coming again. Martis misses, walks his third man. But I think, Rob, what we're seeing tonight is a classic example of a young pitcher who's only given up 2 hits and walked 3, which is not an outrageous amount. No, but he's not even come close to getting any hitters out quickly.
Well, he's not pitching to contact. He's averaging almost 90 pitches per start, but he's not going past the 6th inning.
They're going to come out work on the mound here. Martis, and you mentioned this last night, Rob, once they put that diamond dry or the turfus compound into the dirt, everything gets real sticky. And one of the big problems all the players have, especially the pitchers, is keeping their spikes clear of all this stuff sticking to them. So the ground crew summoned out here to do some very quick work on the mound and on the landing area.
Well, Chiron Martis is behind the pitcher's mound. He's trying to clean his spikes out. And what happens is, and there's tongue depressors that they have out there, and then you've got the little spiky deal on the back of the mound. It just gums up in your there you go, great shot. And so what you try to do like a golfer is get that stuff out of your spikes, but as a pitcher now, see, and there he's got the little tongue depressor. And that's what the trainers always have available, especially on a night like tonight, because it's just it gets all bogged down, and it's almost like you're on skates on the mound.
Yeah. Every time I see that shoe cleaner, Rob, which is on the back of all the pitchers' mounts now, I think of the words of the infamous Al Roboski, who said, since 1968, what you're looking at is the only thing they've done for the pitcher. Everything else has been for the hitters. Well, every time we get Ray Knight and the Mets in the ballpark together, you just have to think about 1986. And Ray hitting a big home run.
Calvin Giraldi, don't throw it.
In Game 6.
Look at how skinny Ray is.
Yeah, he was svelte. And then, of course, there's Ray on second base when Mookie Wilson hits the infamous ground ball.
Bob
Murphy,
Stanley, don't throw it.
Pitcher.
Oh.
And Billy Buckner does the rest. And here comes Ray. Ray once told me he doesn't remember his feet touching the ground between third base and home plate.
Oh, we got lots more on the old Mr. Knight.
Ray would be the MVP of that World Series.
Where's Ray? What's Ray doing out there?
I don't know. He and Johnny have been known to roam around different parts of the ballpark. So we got a bit of a pause here with the runner aboard and 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. And we're just going to take care of all kinds of things here. We'll call on our friend the Duck with our Aflac trivia. Here he comes.
We got to name that guy. Quackers. Quackers.
It's been raining around here so much we ought to call him Natty. The only player in history with at least 500 hits with 4 teams.
Gary Sheffield? No. Pete Rose?
Reds, Phillies,
Expos.
Yeah, I don't think, man.
Yeah, that's 3.
Who did Ty Cobb play for other than the Tigers? It's got to have a Met tie-in somehow. We have to think outside the box here, Rob. So you folks at
Eddie
home,
Murray?
be thinking about that.
Eddie Murray, Indians, Orioles, Dodgers. Didn't Eddie play for the Mets?
Yes, he did. I don't know if he was in New York long enough to have 500 hits, but man, that's a good one. 500 hits with 4 teams.
Wow.
Hats off to the ground crew. They got the mound back where it needs to be. And here's Fernando Tatis, who grounded to short and drove in David Wright with the only run of this game.
Hank Aaron didn't play for 4 teams, but he did have 3,700 hits. I know it wasn't me because I only had 3 hits. That's not too bad.
You probably had at bats for 4 different teams, didn't you?
No, I just had at bats with the Reds. That was it. Because remember, the Brewers are still in the American League at
you're
the
right.
time I played there.
Yeah.
Memories. I always thought it was fun to play in weather like this.
I could see that. Pitchers have to like it. As long as that mound is safe.
Yep.
As long as you can push off and land. So nothing changes mechanically.
Well, there's not going to be a lot of standing water because it's just, this is a hazy rain. So it's just going to be like dew on the grass.
Don't they say the roads are slickest just after it starts raining?
And that's because of the oil. Got to watch out if you're a bike rider right after hasn't rained in a while, then it rains, and then the oil's coming up off the hard top.
Ooh, that's a fastball. Doesn't miss by much. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Fernando Tatis.
Check out the Northrop Grumman pitch track right here. Great movement. Ball goes right through the box.
Northrop Grumman, the information systems powerhouse. 3-2 now, and Chiron Martis, unable to put Murphy away, will now allow Murphy to be running with the pitch. Just like the Nats in the bottom of the 3rd. Tatis helps out. That was ball 4. but he swung at it. Guzman makes a bad throw, and Nick Johnson picks it out. So the Mets have stranded their second runner, leading by 1. The problem Chiron Martis has had, but he's still only given up 1 run and pitching fairly well. But the offense has really gone quiet now over the last week or so.
Well, and in the last couple of days, obviously Tim Lincecum on Tuesday. Then you got Randy Johnson going for his 300th. They didn't do too well against him. And then Matt Cain last night. I mean, it's just been, there's been some very good pitchers they've had to face too. And Tim Redding, very economical. He's thrown half the pitches of Chiron Martis, and he should be saying, listen, this other guy's working his butt off. I've only thrown about 50 pitches. He's thrown about 100 pitches, but you've only gotten me 1 run. So right now, I think the weather is holding down the score.
Ryan Zimmerman lines one up the middle, and that's an encouraging sign, because that's exactly what Ryan did in his final at bat in the 5th inning last night. And when he was on the way to his 30-game hitting streak, Rob, he was doing this probably every other at bat.
And you said it yesterday or the day before that his head was starting to move a little bit, and he was very quiet during that streak. And hopefully he can get back to that where he's just comfortable, stands in there, and just hits the ball where it's pitched. That's when he was hitting the ball the best this year.
Yes, he was. Here's Adam Dunn. Shift is on, but David Wright has to play over by shortstop. And David's a very good athlete like Zimmerman. He could play anywhere on the infield. And I saw him do some communicating, and he's still chatting with Alex Cora about what happens if a ground ball is hit to either of them. If David Wright can pick one up and go right to the bag, he'll do it. But a lot of communication here. And the interesting thing, Castillo does not play deep on the outfield grass the way some teams do when they put on the shift. For example, the Nats will take Anderson Hernandez or Ronnie Belliard, probably put them 50 feet onto the outfield grass.
Well, they're doing something that we haven't seen too often with Adam Dunn up there. They're trying to play double play depth. Wet grass, one hopper. I wouldn't want to be on the infield if Adam Dunn's swinging.
He walked his first time. Ooh, he had a pitch up, couldn't get over the top of it. And Tim Redding got away with 1, 2 balls, 1 strike. Tim Redding's fastball is topping out at 88 to 89. When he was throwing well for the Nationals, he would be in the 92 to 94 range. Tim's 31 years of age now. Last year with Washington, only the 2nd time in his career he's been healthy at the big league level for an entire season. He also made 33 starts for the 03 Astros when he went 10-14 and had a 3.68 ERA. It's interesting that other than 3-1 in 2001, Tim Redding has never had a winning record in the big leagues. He was 3-6 in 07 for the Nats in 15 starts. ERA at that time 3.64. and then the 10 and 11 with a 4.95. Last year, taking the ball every time Manny Acta wanted him to take it. 2-1 to Dunn. Adam Dunn flies it to left. Fernando Tatis circling. He has it for the first down. A reminder, next Saturday we're in Tampa Bay, and they're throwing first pitch, which is their prerogative as the home team to do that, at 6:08 p.m. We cannot come on the air until 7 o'clock, or at least 7:05 on Saturdays. So we'll join the game in progress with live coverage starting at 7:05. And again, that's not our choice. Nothing we can do about it. We encourage you to follow the game at masnsports.com, live game blogs and stats prior to the time we come on at 7:05. But we are not allowed to televise until that time, and the Rays are going to go ahead and start their game for the convenience of their fans at 6:08. Elijah Dukes will foul one.
Let's check Elijah Dukes out here with the Exmo. Look at how quiet he is. He picks up the front foot, drops it right back down, doesn't do a whole lot. He's just got some tremendous power. Quick to the ball.
He's unleashed it 27 times in his big league career. 4 home runs for the Nats this season. 2 for 11 since coming off the DL. And the count's 2-1 from Tim Reddick.
Shows you how confident he is standing in there. I never liked the guy that was already ready standing in there before me. Get him. Come on, give me your best stuff.
Good breaking ball. So what would you do?
I'd step off and walk around a little bit. You want to stand there? I'll let you stand there a little bit longer. Eddie Murray was the toughest out I ever had, because you'd get up on the rubber ready to throw, you get your sign, you call timeout. You know, he knew how to always disrupt your flow and your tempo. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
2-2 to Dukes. Way upstairs, not going to catch up with that. Tim Redding's second strikeout. Pitching pretty well against his former team here. And Austin Kearns, who singled off him, will face him again.
Well, right there, he elevates the eye angle, and the ball just looks so good coming in right here. And Elijah can't lay off.
Up and into Kearns.
I almost think Tim Redding recognizes that Austin's trying to get his hands away from his body. That's why he tried to run that ball up underneath his arms. Keep it underneath his hands.
Yeah, Manny admitted today Kearns had fallen back to some of the old ways when he hit 217 last year. That was a 49-point drop from Austin's 07 season when he had 266 and drove in 74 runs. He was healthy that whole year. He had 587 at bats, and we just thought Austin Kearns was really on his way. This thing is on its way to Carlos Beltran, and the Nats are gone in the 4th. 3 singles, 3 runners stranded, and the Mets lead 1-0. Those guys running on the beach, getting ready for the Olympics. What a great movie, the story of Eric Liddell.
Oh, I won't run on the Sabbath. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
He was so religious he wouldn't run on Sunday.
So they changed events, and he still won. He still won a medal.
Yep.
That was a life well lived.
Good man.
And a great athlete. Jason Bergman is the man who seems to be up early in ball games to rescue Nats starters. Fernando Martinez is the hitter, and he pops it up right side. The ball has disappeared to us. It's coming back down right into the Nats dugout. And Nick Johnson had a rather unpleasant meeting with the railing there. Let's see.
Now watch your onion.
Oh. He knew he couldn't reach it. Now from that angle, it might look like he could. Folks, that ball was 5-6 feet away from him. But I'm telling you, as soon as it got up above the scoreboard from our vantage point here, that ball was lost. It is really twilight time right now.
Here's Nick trying to track the ball, and then he loses it.
Yeah,
and then someone's like, heads.
And Fernando Martinez walks for the second time tonight. Chiron Martis is probably in his last inning of work. He's due to bat third in the fifth.
He's up 97 pitches in just 4 innings.
Giving up 2 hits. 97 pitches. Steve McCaddy, I guess you're looking at the definition of mixed emotions right now. He likes the fact this kid's been rather unhittable, but he doesn't like the nibbling. He doesn't like the walks.
This is the Chiron Martis version of a Daisuke Matsuzaka start. I will pitch all around the zone. You will not hit me, and you cannot score.
Brian Schneider, a good double play guy. If the Nats can get a ground ball here, that's up and away, 1-1.
I don't know. These pitches are so close.
Yeah, I don't think the strike zone has helped him tonight. We can put it that way.
I mean, he has thrown so many borderline ball pitches that used to be strikes, but no longer.
Schneider will pull it, and that's well out of play. Take it easy, Nick. No, a David Wright fan got it. All right, we see you. Sit down.
He reaches the century mark quicker than Tim Redding.
It's taken 100 pitches to get 12 outs. Two to Brian Schneider. He'll line it to left. Adam Dunn's right there. Loses the ball in the lights, I think. It got right by him, and the Mets are going to have runners at second and third. Nationals youngsters haven't been exactly helped by great defense this year.
It's misty. Looks like he looks up, loses it either in the mist or the lights right here. Elijah Dukes with a great backup right there, saving an in-the-park home run.
Yeah, with Adam reaching up to his face right there, I think he lost that ball right in the bank of lights above first base. That happens on line drives. And now the infield's in. The pitcher is up second and third, nobody out. It's been scored a double.
Oh, it never got leather.
The only good thing about this, the pitcher's batting. And that ball's hit right at Guzman. He'll look the runner back, throw wide, and Nick Johnson has to corral it. 1 out.
Thank goodness for small favors.
All right, who has 500 hits with 4 different teams? Somebody who played for the Mets?
Rusty Staub.
Well, that's a great trivia question because he played for this organization and that organization. Saw Rusty up in New York last week. He was part of a trivia question we had last week too.
What is he, Le Grand?
He was very, very proud that he was part of Aflac trivia. Rusty, for many years, a successful restaurateur in New York. He's no longer in that business. Alex Cora 0 for 1 with a walk. Infield still in. The Mets could bunt here. You know, Rob, on a night like this, I think there was a time in baseball when it was almost automatic that a manager would squeeze a run home here. Just anything to score. I don't see hardly any managers who do that anymore. Nick Johnson has that one. He'll give it to the pitcher. Martis will turn around.
Slipped over the bag.
Yeah. And that's 2 outs.
Gotta worry because someone can get hurt. Nicely done right there by Chiron and Nick. Some good PFP, pitcher's fielding practice.
So those runners still sitting at second and third, 2 outs now. And if Chiron Martis, who's probably facing his last hitter, well, maybe he's already faced his last hitter. This is interesting. Manny's coming out, and a couple of reasons for this. A lot of pitches. Maybe he likes Bergman's stuff against Castillo. But what you're doing here,
they may leave him in here.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to stay now.
This is your last guy. Get this guy out.
Well, if he brings in Bergman, he only pitches to maybe one batter, and then he's out of the game because the Nats have to pinch hit in the bottom of the 5th. So a little motivational speech by the skipper here. I like it.
Love it. Love it. He's up to 105 pitches. It's the 5th inning. Man, Manny's hands are tied right there. What do you do with this? This kid's so talented. He's young. Could leave him out there a little bit longer, but you're just putting him at risk. But you want him to get out of this inning. And I've said this many times in the last 2 months. You want a guy to leave his outing thinking that he did a great job. So hopefully Martis can get this out.
And you want the inning to end right here because you don't want it to go to that man.
No. No, the next 2 guys after Castillo, those are nails. You don't want to face Beltran or Wright.
That's a good one. Outside corner, counts even.
Yeah, the French named him Le Grand Orange. Because of his red hair. There's a Northrop Grumman on the pitch track. He's just got such a great running fastball right there. Lost a little mile per hour, but still got great movement. Oh, look at Castillo.
That was a safety squeeze. It was not a suicide squeeze. The runner, all the runner was doing was following Ryan Zimmerman down the third baseline.
Wow, well, it's 2 outs, though. He's bunting for a base hit.
Yeah.
So 1-1 pitch. Sneaky little Castillo right here looking for a hit, trying to steal a run.
Yeah, he was trying to get Beltran up to the plate. Now he has to swing on 1 and 2. Fastball misses up.
Don't assume that either. A lot of guys love to bunt with 2 outs, especially a guy like this. You see that Zimmerman moved back, Nick moved back.
On the left field line, here comes Dunn. Adams got it. It was a fair ball when he caught it, and no harm done. The Mets strand a couple. They've left 4 and lead 1-0. 1-0 Mets after 4.5. I think my favorite part of the Darryl Green sequence was when he shook off Willie Harris. And then he threw a pitch on the fly home. It was a little bit off to the right-handed batter's box, but Darryl did a great job. Little footage of Tim Redding as a National last year. He would start 33 times through a complete game. And there he locks up David Wright. Castillo can't believe it. Wow, that's unbelievable. He struck out Brian Schneider too, not knowing he'd be playing with all those guys. Boy, you never know who your future teammates are in this game anymore, do you?
Nope. Now you get the Bushman beard there.
Josh Bard takes a breaking ball, side door variety that comes breaking in. Bard fouled out to David Wright first time.
Have you seen Ryan Franklin's beard lately?
I talked to him when they were here.
I think there's like a pigeon nesting in it.
That's a fair ball into the corner.
Come on, Bard.
And Josh Bard, who now has 12 hits this year, 7 of them have gone for extra bases. He's at second base with nobody out.
Well, the more reps that Josh Bard gets behind the plate and at the plate. Nice sweet swing. Switch hitting catcher, very valuable at the major league level.
I don't know if you folks caught this at the end of the play. The shortstop, Alex Cora, was standing there like a throw wasn't even coming. And then Bard kind of jogged into the bag, and Cora got that ball about 1 second later. Anderson Hernandez, we've already seen tonight the folly of not hustling.
Well, I know you read my blog on Masson.com about the playoffs, and Chris Sabo did this exact same thing to Andy Van Slyke, who was tagging going to third in the NLCS in '90. And it's just the best deke in the world. Nothing's happening. The ball's on its way in, and you get it, and the guy gives up running into the bag. You tag him out.
Yeah.
Never trust infielders. Never look for them for any help. A lot of times on a fly ball to say right field as the guy's running into second base, the guy will act like the ball's on the infield.
Well, the Twins did it to Lonnie Smith,
slide.
And it cost the Atlanta Braves a World Series. Probably the most famous deke of all time. I think that was Chuck Knobloch.
Yep. And then Jimmy Williams, the third base coach, didn't send him home.
0-2 to Hernandez. Nationals need this runner advanced. That's not going to do it on a ball hit in front of the base runner. And Cora throws out Hernandez. Nats will pinch hit here with Ronnie Belliard. June 11th is Dollar Kids Day. Bring 4 children ages 2 to 12 to a Nats game for just $1 a ticket with the purchase of 1 full-priced adult ticket. Great deal. Dollar Kid tickets available at the box office only. And children must be present. You got to say, okay, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. And for more information, you can call 202-675-NATS. But again, a reminder, on June 11th, those tickets are available at the box office only. Looks like Alberto Gonzalez will be the pinch hitter here. So that'll do it for Martis. He throws 110 pitches in 5 innings and gives up 1 run on 3 hits. And it should have been 1 hit. 2 of those balls should have been caught. Jason Bergman, who's been brilliant lately in 1-inning outings, will take over in the 6th. What will the score be? Alex Gonzalez is 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs as a pinch hitter. Or Alberto Gonzalez, pardon me. So Martis, a mixed bag of results tonight. 1 strikeout, 4 walks, 1 double play in 5 strange but effective innings. Tim Redding trying to keep this a 1-0 game. That's a little base hit into right center. Around third, here comes Bard. The game is tied. And Alberto Gonzalez is 3 for 3 as a pinch hitter this year. Maybe after some of the bad luck Chiron Martis had, he deserves to be let off the hook here.
Nah, Chiron Martis battled his way through 5 innings right here. Alberto Gonzalez is going to make it pay off. At least he gets off the hook for the loss, and he's still in line for a win. Who could get the lead and hold it. Just a great at bat right there, going down. Very nice pitcher's pitch. Not trying to do too much. Ever since Gonzalez came back, Bob, he has shortened up his swing, just trying to make contact and put it in play, use his speed. So even our hitting instructors at the minor league level doing a great job.
I think Alberto and Anderson Hernandez kind of feed off of each other as well. They're very similar players. And it's almost like what you can do, I'll try to do better. And that's good for a ball club when you've got little guys like that fulfilling their roles. I mean, we talk about this all the time when the Nationals play the Phillies. Shane Victorino might be the best role player in that #2 spot for them in the league, and that's exactly what he does to you. And then he lets the big boys drive him home.
Well, it's knowing your limitations, not trying to do too much. Keep it simple. It's that KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Now it's the top of the order, and the Nats could do some running here. This next pitch might determine whether there's a hit and run. If Tim Redding misses, it'll be 2-1. And with that in mind, he wants to keep the runner close.
Almost looks like the mist has left us.
I can see clearly now the rain has gone. Still some spooky looking clouds up to the north of us. But things a lot better in more ways than one than they were just a few minutes ago. Long pause by Redding. Guzman, right field line. That's a fair ball. It comes off to Martinez, and they'll hold the runners at second and third with 1 out. Fernando Martinez got that ball back in a hurry. Pat Listash making the right call. And the Nats are stringing some hits together here in the 5th inning finally.
Alberto Gonzalez looks like he pulled up lane there coming around third. This is great right here by Christian Guzman. He goes up, seeing the ball well. Not the kind of pitch you want to swing at, one that's almost head level. And right here, oh, he looked like he twisted the ankle coming around third.
Yeah, hit the skids. You know, and it's really important what he's doing there, because Rob,
fixing his divot so no one else gets hurt.
Well, and if there's a ground ball, he's got to get a good push off to go home. They're going to walk Nick Johnson here, loading the bases with 1 out.
Ooh, Mr. Dangerous, Ryan Zimmerman. So you're walking Nick to get to that guy. Okay.
And here's where the Nationals just have to cash in this opportunity. There they are at third base. Gonzalez, who got the big pitch hit. Guzman got the double. Nick Johnson walked intentionally.
Who's on first?
And Dan Warthen, the pitching coach.
I like this shot because you can keep an eye on everybody. What are they doing? Nick is taking his gloves off. Talking to Marquise Grissom. Can you believe they walked me? You got to make them pay right here. Come on, Zim.
Ryan Zimmerman lined one hard up the middle last time. Here's where Ryan does not want to hit the ball hard on the ground up the middle, because that's where teams play him. Although Castillo isn't playing up the middle as much as some teams do. They usually really bunch him up the middle on the infield. That's a breaking ball outside.
Kind of hugging the right field line for some reason. They're giving him a nice gap in right center.
That's a huge gap.
Yep,
man, that's about 150 feet.
Aim for the W on the scoreboard.
Up and in, 2-0. Mets bullpen starting to heat up a bit. This is a big pitch for Tim Redding. He'll step off. Mets are warming up Brian Stokes. Nats have tied the game here in the fifth. They've out-hit the Mets 6-3. And that's ball three on a sailing fastball. Adam Dunn is next.
No, we don't got to worry about the 3-0 pitch. Tim Timmons is behind home plate.
Right down the middle. Ryan Zimmerman hit 2 grand slams back in 07, and ironically they were his first 2 home runs of the year. So he's got a hitter's count here. Bases loaded, 1 out, and it's 3-1. Fastball up and a perfect double play ball. The frustrated Nationals leave 2 runners. They've left 5, and it's a 1-1 game. Trip at southwest.com and by PNC Bank. PNC leading the way. Mr. Jefferson's Memorial looking beautiful on this Friday night. Hope you guys are having a great time. A little frustrated by that double play ball. Who has posted scoreless lines now in 8 of 10 appearances this season. And it seems, Rob Dibble, like he really has excelled in this 1-inning thing.
Well, he went back down to the minor leagues, and Steve McCatty was his pitching coach. And I think he stressed to Jason Bergman that if he wants to pitch at this level, use that hard sinker, use it early and often, get ahead, and then get guys to ground out. I mean, it's not that difficult. Pitch to contact.
They're filling in that spot where Alberto Gonzalez hit that mud after rounding the third base back. I mean, these guys have had all sorts of issues to deal with this week.
And by the way, what they're using is called a tamp.
Yep.
And I know that because I had a mound in my backyard at a house, and I used to tamp my own mound.
Who was your catcher?
I didn't have one. I had a net. I had a net built. I get tired always trying to find a catcher to throw against a wall in the minor leagues in my old high school.
So Bergman now on a mound that's also been helped. Will start his warm-up tosses. It's been a crazy ball game because of the conditions. The leadoff hitter David Wright popped out. Ball should have been caught, wasn't. Then Elijah Dukes threw out David Wright, but Darrell Cousins called him safe. It cost the Nationals a run when Fernando Tatis hit a ground ball to short. And that's the only Mets run of the night. That was after a fly ball had fallen in front of Adam Dunn.
That's the beauty of this game, though, Bob. Human error. They can't have an Exmo for eyesight out there, 500 frames per second.
I tell you, when we see these close-up shots, you can tell how really wet and muddy the infield is.
Come on, put your back into it.
All over the mid-Atlantic region, cats are watching in living rooms with rapt attention. They're like, where can I find this place?
Yep. Bunch of tabbies.
We've had a great time at the ballpark tonight. It's Black Heritage Night. John Thompson was just on the scoreboard with a little message a few moments ago. We're celebrating all the great players that played in the old Negro Leagues. Of course, the Nationals and the city of Washington, a very important part of that. The Homestead Grays played here. From the late 30s into the 40s, they played half of their games in Pittsburgh, the other half here. The Senators were on the road. Josh Gibson, Buck Leonard, Sam Bankhead, and James Cool Papa Bell. The Homestead Grays won 9 Negro League championships. Right after all the repair work, that ball slapped down to Nick Johnson. Carlos Beltran is retired.
Well, not that we can go back in time, but can you imagine if the African-American pitchers and even the Latin pitchers pitched back in Babe Ruth's era?
Yeah.
And Lou Gehrig's era and Ty Cobb.
I'll tell you, Satchel Paige pitched a long time before he was able to break in.
Well, I just would have liked to have seen what they could have done against Babe Ruth. That would have been nice.
Yeah. Or what Josh Gibson would have done against the great white pitchers of the years. Man. Great players.
Thank goodness for Jackie Robinson.
And Larry Doby in the American League.
Larry Doby.
Here's David Wright, 1 for 2. He gets jammed and fouls it.
And I know I've told this story, but since it is the Black Heritage Night, it was Don Newcomb, Jackie Robinson, and Roy Campanella 28 days before Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated, and Dr. King said to them, those 3 guys, you made my job easier by what they did in the 40s and the 50s.
David Wright drives this one to right center. It's going to fall between 3 Nationals. They were all after it. It was in no man's land, and David Wright has his second bloop hit of the night. Here's our television schedule coming up. We'll be right back with you at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And in that ball game, John Lannon goes against John Maine. Livan Hernandez shut out in the Nats last week in New York. He'll pitch against Craig Stammen on Sunday. DC 50 will join us. Off day Monday. Then the Cincinnati Reds are coming in. Right now, the Nats in that Cincinnati series expected to see Johnny Cueto, Aaron Harang, and Micah Owings. Daniel Murphy, the hitter. Fastball just misses by Bergman.
Viagra, Bob.
I see that.
That just popped up on the screen.
Bergman, by the way, in 10 games now has lowered his ERA below 4, down to 3.97. Opponents are only hitting $190 against him. I know that guys who pitch at this stage of a ball game have been referred to over the years as long men, but I'm not sure Bergman is very effective once he has to go 2 innings. That'll be well foul. It seems like his forte lately is going out there for 10 to 20 pitches and getting 3 outs, and he's been doing it quite well.
I concur. Just have him out there for 3 outs. Keep the confidence high. Find your 6th and 7th inning guy. Vallone's your 8th to 9th inning guy. Even if it takes you 2 guys to get a save, you don't have to have a certain formula. Here's Jason Bergman's slow-mo delivery. He is from the third base side on the rubber. Nice quick balance. Gets back, separates the hands, gets on top. See him pull it down and snap those fingers.
Oh no. Throws it away. And David Wright is going for third. He's out this time. A one-hop throw by Anderson Hernandez. And the Mets have made some serious mistakes on the bases tonight. By basically their 2 best offensive players.
Oh my, Bob, check this out right here. Greed sometimes is not good. With 1 out, you could be standing on second base, or you can make the 2nd out at third base. Great throw by Anderson Hernandez.
That'll be an error on Bergman that allows the runner to go to second. Whoa, look at that ball take off on Elijah Dukes. And the Nationals heave a sigh of relief. A testy top of the 6th is over. Here comes Adam Dunn. Bottom of the 6th, Adam Dunn.
I think he grabs Strasburg, but then if Aaron Crow is still available, grab him 10th.
Yeah, I heard what he was projected, maybe 3rd or 4th.
Who knows? The baseball draft is not like the football draft.
Yeah.
You can't get like Mel Kiper Jr. in there going, well, this guy's going to go in this slot, and
Yeah.
It's going to go in that slot. Baseball is kind of strange. I counted 15 pitchers in the first 25 in the mock draft. That just shows you how things have changed. Everybody needs pitching.
Oh yeah. I think along with that, Mike Rizzo told us recently it doesn't appear to be a great year for available position players.
But even about 10 years ago, I broke down the top 100 draft picks, and it was about 30% of them were pitchers. I mean, now we're talking it might be about 75% pitchers in the first 100.
Yeah, that'll be real interesting if Aaron Crow, also represented by Scott Boras,
fell to 10,
is still available at number 10. He might, because he hasn't pitched in a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think pitching for the Fort Worth Cats is going to blow anybody away.
There you are with the Cats again.
David Wright has a long way to go, and he catches that foul ball after playing out near shortstop. And Adam Dunn is now 5 for his last 35. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Elijah Dukes is 0 for 2. The weather has cleared nicely. And Kearns to follow here in the 6th. Tim Redding is about to embark on his best start as a Met. His previous best, 2 hits, 2 runs in 6 innings at Los Angeles on May 18th in an eventual 3-2 loss to the Dodgers. He got a no decision in that game and then lost his next 2, pitching only 4 2/3 and then 4 at Boston and against the Marlins. Dukes will pop it up reaching. And that's a foul ball, 2 outs. Well, things have cleared out nicely here at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C., where the Nats are only 8-18 on the year, trying to win their 2nd game of the year in 7 tries against the Mets. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, Debbie Taylor here on Masson HD.
I know you're a golfer, Bob. I'm calling a mulligan. We're going to start the season over tonight with this win. We'll be 1-0. Let's just forget the first, I don't know what, 50 games.
Tonight's game number 53.
Whatever.
After tomorrow night, the season will be 1/3 over.
Northrop Grumman right there on the pitch track. You see that nice movement. Late sink. 2-seamer.
Took a little bit off the breaking ball. Kearns 2 balls, 2 strikes. Austin 1 for 2 tonight.
Austin Kearns. Just a little bit out in front of that off-speed breaker.
And he hits it right at the shortstop. Alex Cora, once rated the best young defensive player in the country coming out of high school. Into the 7th, it's a 1-1 game. 1-1 into the seventh inning, and this is as good as Tim Redding's pitched in quite a while.
Tim Redding's been doing it basically with 2 pitches, sometimes taking a little bit off the curveball, but he's been pounding the strike zone, sinkers, fastballs, never over 89, 90 miles an hour. And I think he's showing a lot of our young guys, listen, I might not have the best stuff like I used to, even last year when some of you guys saw me when I was throwing 92, 93. You can be effective as long as you throw strikes, attack the strike zone early and often. And he's been economical all night also and held the Nationals to 6 hits and a run.
Fernando Tatis showing bunt, 7th inning underway. Tatis has bounced out to short twice. And that gets him right in the middle of the back. We mentioned how good Jason Bergman's been doing lately while pitching 1 inning. But it seems like when he comes out for 3 more outs, things get a little rough like they did in New York last week. This has to hurt.
That does hurt, but, you know, I mean, you can't just have a guy be a 1-inning guy. He used to be a starter. He's got to be able to go out there the 2nd and 3rd inning sometimes. Turn that lineup over. You don't want to always have to pinch hit for him. Yeah, Redding, 10 first pitch strikes, 88 pitches right now through 6, 50 for strikes.
Last week, Jason Bergman, 1/3 of an inning, got an out on Monday night, and then in New York on Tuesday night, a 1-2-3 inning, and then he gave up 3 hits in a row and hit a batter his 2nd inning out. There's something about him going out for another inning, and Manny will bring in Ron Vallone here. Johnny and Ray on Nats Extra post game. And I'd be interested in Ray's thoughts on that 110 pitches in 5 innings by Martis. Tonight's at bats, a special look by Ray, and I bet some of that will have our Exmo involved. John Maine, John Lannon, the kid from New York, tomorrow night.
Well, and that's the thing too, that because then Manny Acta has to go to his bullpen earlier. He's got to start working these guys hard. It's a long weekend. We could at least take 2 out of 3 from the Mets. They're really down on their luck right now.
Best possible time to play them in years. Fernando Martinez, and that bunt will go foul. And with Martinez standing near the batter's box, Josh Bard wanted to see if that ball might come back fair. Martinez walked twice tonight by Chiron Martis. So the Mets are playing small ball for the lead here in the 7th on the road, which some teams do not do. At least for one pitch they did. He shows no sign of bunting there, and the count's even 1-1. Ron Vallone has easily been the Nationals' most consistent relief pitcher. Scoreless relief each of his 17 appearances. And among National League relievers, his 154 opponent's batting average is 4th best in the league. Fastball for a strike.
Mike McDougal.
So a count of 1-2 at the middle infield at double play depth here. Hard breaking ball away, 2-2. Fernando Martinez is from Santo Domingo, signed with the Mets at the age of 16. He won't be 21 until the 10th of October. He was hitting .281 in 42 games at Buffalo this year when the Mets called him up May 25th. The night Ryan Church and Jose Reyes went on the DL while the Nats were in the Big Apple last week. 2-2. Over but low. This kid is considered New York's hottest position player prospect. And he's in the big leagues at the age of 20.
Isn't this the kid when we were in New York made all those base run blunders, didn't catch the ball down the line? This is the same kid?
That was him.
That wasn't a good start.
Popped up. Hernandez out. He'll wave everybody off and take it for the first down. We'll see another kid next week in St. Petersburg, Florida, who is a 20-year-old phenom, B.J. Upton of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Nats home for 3 with the Mets, 3 for Cincinnati. Then it's on to Tampa Bay and New York, but this time to play the Yankees. They might be calling Brian Schneider back here. They recently traded Ramon Castro to the White Sox because Omir Santos has basically won their catching job. Right now they will pinch hit veteran Emil Brown, who's been with them just a short time. Emil's been around this league for a while. He was with the Pirates for 5 years, San Diego for a while, last 3 years with Kansas City, and then, well, 3 years with KC 05 to 07, and then he hit .244 with Oakland last year. He's a 34-year-old right-handed hitting outfielder from Chicago, and they made a deal with the Padres for a player to be named later just a few days ago. He was hitting .260 at Portland for the Pods, and then 5 out of 16 in just 4 games at Buffalo before the Mets called him up Wednesday.
If you're a journeyman athlete or a baseball player, the organization to go to right now, the Mets.
Don't ever turn off your cell phone.
Oh,
you don't know who's going to be calling.
It's amazing. I mean, Reyes is out on rehab for the calf. He blows out his hamstring. Remember I told you in New York there was something wrong with puts?
Yeah, you did.
And broke a bone spur. That's got to hurt. Get all that floating spur and stuff. Loose bodies, they call them. You got to go in and take them out.
Ron Vallone goes 3-0 on Emil Brown. Tim Redding, who can swing the bat, is on deck here. This will be interesting to see what Jerry Manuel does. Vallone misses again.
I think they carefully pitched to Brown. This will take Redding out of the game.
They have two more right-handed pinch hitters, and here comes Mr. Gary Sheffield. who killed the Nats in New York last week. I was told that he would not play tonight, at least in terms of starting. He will probably be back in their lineup tomorrow and then maybe have another day of rest on Sunday. Manny Acta's now going to make his move. He had to wait for Sheffield to be announced.
Sheff will get McDougal.
So a good outing by Tim Redding, who could turn out to be the winner. It'll be Mike McDougal against Gary Sheffield in a moment. A runner out, but called safe. A former Nat battling his ex-teammates and battling quite well.
Throwing 50 strikes out of 88 pitches.
And the big hit of the game, Alberto Gonzalez with that pinch hit. Ryan Zimmerman hitting into a double play for the 11th time this year. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
I'm 3G right now.
Let's hope Mike McDougal.
Let's hope he's 3G.
This is Class A right here. Top shelf. He has allowed some opponent, or rather some inherited base runners to score with a couple of hits and a walk. But a tough task here against 40-year-old Gary Sheffield in his 21st year. Five homers, 20 RBIs this year. And McDougal gets a strike. Low in the zone on the outside corner.
Well, that's cheese at the knees, and Gary's not going to go for that. You don't want to throw anything down and in on him or up high and away to him.
Gary Sheffield, 5 hits and 8 RBIs against the Nats at Citi Field last week, including 2 home runs. One of which we thought was actually a home run.
It's a good spot right there.
That was nasty. Ball had some sink on it, and he foul tipped it into the mid of Josh Bard.
This is 96 in on the hands right there. Nice riding fastball.
Wow.
Well, he doesn't get cheated. I still think Ronnie Belliard swings harder.
Oh, look at that pitch. Low and away. 97. And McDougal blows away one of the best hitters of this generation. 2 outs.
This is just a wonderful sequence of pitches right here. 96 away at the knees. No one's going to hit that. 96 above the hands. He's not going to touch that. And then a sinking 97-mile-an-hour heater away. Wow, just a great sequence of pitches right there.
That might be the 3 best fastballs we've seen by any relief pitcher consecutively this year. Now this is a different situation. This is a contact hitter in Alex Cora. 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 on, 2 out.
Well, don't try to overthrow. The first 3 were great. Muscle memory. Do the AT&T rewind right here. Go back, do the same 3 pitches again.
Do a long pause there. And he throws it by Cora.
Very nice. Great movement. Even though it's 95, sometimes guys will throw a straight 95, or they'll throw so hard the ball straightens out. Ball's got great sink to it.
Second base, Tatis hit by a pitch by Bergman. First base, Emil Brown walked by Vallone.
By the way, they may have left Bergman in for Tatis. He was 6 for 18 off of Vallone lifetime.
And a bouncer to the right side. Anderson Hernandez, and the Mets are gone in the top of the 7th. They strand 2. They've stranded 6 on the night. On Black Heritage Night here at Nationals Park, a special kind of Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by Northrop Grumman, the information systems powerhouse.
Great ball game here between the Nationals and the Mets. Chiron Martis, Tim Redding already out of this ball game. 1-1, 6 hits for the Nats, 4 for the Mets. This is how they scored. Christian Guzman 2 for 3 with a double. Redding, great job by him. 88 pitches, 50 for strikes. Martis, a lot of pitches in 5 innings, 110. Got him out of the ball game early. This is how the Nationals got it done in the 5th inning. Started off with a nice double by Josh Bard. And then Alberto Gonzalez plates him with a pinch hit single to right.
And as we go bottom 7, new battery for the Mets. Omir Santos has sort of come out of nowhere to win the backup catching job for New York. That's why they ship Ramon Castro off, and then Brian Stokes will take over. It'll be his 21st appearance. Good ERA. They've got some great arms in this New York bullpen. His opponent's batting average .256. Not a strikeout pitcher though. 21 innings, only 9 Ks. So here's Josh Bard. After leading off in the 5th with that double that Rob talked about. This has really become quite a ball game. And a ball hooked foul. 1-1 to the Nationals catcher. And Joe Beimel. The Mets in the 8th will have Castillo, Beltran, 2 switch hitters, and then David Wright. And Pedro Feliciano is always tough in the late innings. Bard will pop it up left side. David Wright. The Cal Ripken All-Stars, the Valley League All-Stars at Waldorf on July 15th. It's the Mid-Atlantic Classic, and you can see it live on MASN HD at 7:05. Home Run Derby 5:30. If you'd like to see it, admission free. They will accept donations at the gate. RipkenSeniorCollegeBaseball.org or 410-588-9900 for more information. Anderson Hernandez to be followed by Ronnie Belliard, who will be batting for Mike McDougall. Hernandez out on a bunt and a ground ball to short.
Ronnie Belliard waiting to get his chance.
Maybe we should do a side-by-side with him and Sheffield swinging. Huh?
Nah, Chef. Chef's got 500 home runs. Well, Ronnie doesn't get cheated. It's the way he plays the game.
Look at Anderson from the 7th inning on. Came into this ball game hitting .287 with an on-base average of nearly .360. That was a changeup, though, that got him, and a fly ball to Beltran, 2 outs. All 6 of the games have been in New York so far this year. Mets have a 44-point batting average advantage. Nats have been more homers, actually. The Mets have more runs, more hits, and have done better, though neither team anything to brag about with runners in scoring position.
What are they, about 3 or 4-0 in replay?
2-0. And tonight they're 1 for 1 in missed calls. Here's Belliard. Ronnie had a pinch hit home run over the weekend in Philadelphia, but he's still 3 for his last 25. Looked like a backup breaking ball that stayed up and in. That homer by Belliard, his 3rd of the year, gives him 105 in his career. Nowhere to hit that one. Not even close. 1, 2, 3 go the Nats in the 7th. And for the Mets, Castillo, Beltran, and David Wright coming up against Joe Beimel.
Join the party for the second annual Internet Safety Night. Lots of activities, great prizes for the kids. Tickets start at just $8. Log on to PotomacNationals.com for more information on that. And our minor league report features Hagerstown Suns catcher Derek Norris. He has 12 home runs, 42 runs batted in, and both of those are tops among all catchers in pro baseball. Meanwhile, some pitching coach changes in the Nats organization to tell you about, with Steve McCatty moving from Syracuse here to D.C. Rich Gale moves from Single-A Hagerstown to Triple-A Syracuse. Franklin Bravo goes from short-season Single-A Vermont to Single-A Hagerstown. Joel Sanchez heads from rookie-level GCL Nationals to the short-season Single-A Vermont team. And Mark Grader transitions from the rehab pitching coordinator to the rookie-level GCL Nationals. Bob?
Yeah, Mike Rizzo said it would take a couple of days, Debbie, to sort all that out, and here they've done it. There's always a ripple effect throughout the organization, just like there was last week in Colorado when Clint Hurdle was let go. That Hagerstown ball club, 23-26. And we go to the top of the 8th with Joe Beimel against Luis Castillo. He throws one over but low, and the count's 1-1. Castillo 0 for 3. Giants are getting good pitching from Barry Zito tonight. They're at Florida, and in the 5th inning, leading the Marlins 2-0. Braves are trailing Milwaukee 4-0 at home. And a fly ball that'll tail back to the right fielder, Austin Kearns. Turned into a nice evening here at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C., home of the Nats. And we're glad you're with us here on Mass in HD for the Mets and the Nationals. Their first meeting in this ballpark this year. Bob, Rob, Debbie, our outstanding Mass and crew. And we've got the Exmo as our honored guest in the studio tonight. Our studio high in the sky, that is.
Mo on the Exmo.
Yeah. They were made for each other. Guzman gets to it, can't get the handle. That's the one play that's been giving him problems lately, is going to his left and then coming up with the ball cleanly to make a throw. He was on the field a couple of days ago with Manny Acta working on this very thing.
Well, and also that Christian Guzman knows there's a lot of speed right here going towards first base. He knows he's got to get it out of the glove quick. And on the transition, he drops it.
Nationals' second error of the night. Guzman's 8th error of the season.
I'd like to see an angle from behind there. That might have been a bang-bang play anyway at first.
Manny Acta said on Tuesday it was at Guzman's request that they were on the field in the hot afternoon sun on that day working on that very play. Manny was standing at home plate hitting balls just about as hard as he could on the ground up the middle. One out for David Wright. Wright 2 for 3 tonight. Has scored the Mets' only run after his bloop fell between Dunn and Guzman back in the 2nd. That's up and away, ball 2.
Let's get the Exmo on Joe Beimel. Throws across his body right here from the third base side. Let's see, right when he lands, he's way over, and he's going to throw across that way. And if you're a lefty, you don't want to see Joe Beimel throwing it directly at you, and then it's a strike.
That was sneaky fast, 85. Then he jumps it up to 88. The left-hander Daniel Murphy on deck. It'll be first and second with one out. So the error really hurts now because that runner's in scoring position. And Daniel Murphy coming up, a lefty-lefty matchup here. Murphy 0 for 2 with a walk. Lined out hard to center last time. And Beimel slips it by him off the inside part of the plate.
That looked like a two-seam 88-mile-an-hour fastball that went back in on Murphy. Even if he hits it, he either hits it foul on the ground and nick, or he hits it off his shin. Yeah, they want to make Beltran stop at second base.
The Nationals have two good arms in the outfield, Dukes and Kearns. Conditions will still be wet out there if a ball does get through the infield. So keeping Beltran as close to second base as possible is important here. And that's a breaking ball popped into center. Dukes broke back, coming in, sliding in, and making the catch.
Great recovery.
Tough play for an outfielder, Rob, because that batter's taking a big swing, and your first inclination is to go back, not forward. And it'll be Fernando Tatis now with 2 outs.
Well, it's a great pitcher's pitch on the outer half, and it's off the end of the bat. And as Bob said, he took a step back, and it's a swinging, dying fly ball to center field. And Elijah Dukes' athleticism makes up for a lot here, and he catches this ball.
Did you see him take that step back at first? He almost slipped.
Yep.
Made a great recovery. That kid is really athletic. And here's Tatis 0 for 2 with ground balls to short, and he's been hit by a pitch.
And this is where the Nationals have had trouble. You get 2 outs, get to the point where you can put somebody away and get your offense in. We haven't been able to do it. So if Joe Beimel can get out of this right here, it gives you a chance to win the ball game.
Top of the order due up in the bottom of the 8th. Manny Acta hasn't looked at the scoreboard very often this year and seen a 1-1 count in the 8th inning. That's Fernando Martinez, the rookie, on deck. And the thing to remember, he's a left-handed batter. So Steve McCaddy, Manny Acta, Joe Beimel behind in the count. Don't want to give you something too fat to Tatis. Ball 3. Almost an automatic out with 2 outs and runners in these positions. And the bases are loaded. I think once it got to 2-0 there, Rob, the Nats were being pretty careful. And now it's a lefty-lefty matchup against a rookie hitter. And the pitching coach on his way with Beltran at third, Wright at second, and Tatis at first.
I think Steve McCaddy right here is asking Byron, what do you want to do? What do you want to go with? Because if you get beat, you better get beat with your best stuff. Have not seen Joe Bimo really break out that big breaking ball that early on in the season he was just getting everybody out with. And I like that pitch because it's hard on righties. It breaks down and in on righties and way away from lefties. He can throw for strikes.
Martinez 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. The Mets have lost 3 in a row. They were swept at Pittsburgh. So considering the fact that they're 4 games behind the Phillies and considered themselves a contender, this might be the most important at bat of young Mr. Martinez's career. Beautiful breaking ball by Joe Bimo.
Great 0-1 pitch right here, way off the plate. Look at the kid. He's like stepping in the bucket towards first base. One more. Down and away.
0-2. Ooh.
It almost looked like he crossed him up.
Josh Bard was shifting outside for what he thought was a breaking ball.
Yeah, he stood up and that was a fastball.
That was a catcher making a split-second adjustment right there.
That was wonderful.
Wow.
You know, we talk about emergency hack. That was an emergency catch.
Right. Big slow curveball for the strikeout. The Mets will leave 3. They have stranded 9. And Christian Guzman's error does not hurt. He has 2 hits. And it is time to take command of this game. And a reminder, tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Mass at HD. John Lennon getting the 6th lowest run support in the majors. Got to get that lid on and get a win. John's 2-5 now, and he'll take on John Maine. John Maine's been a nap killer. Finally, Lennon gets the lid on. And for Maine, 7-2, 3.79 against the Nats. We'll get you going at 6:30 with Nats Extra, hosted by Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight. Bobby Parnell, 20 strikeouts, 9 walks in 22 innings. We're talking high 90s, triple digits here on the fastball.
Yes, we are. If he can command that 100-mile-an-hour fastball, very difficult to hit off of.
The Nats have a couple of guys who can guide a pitch like that right into the outfield. That's outside. Must be his changeup, 94. I'm kidding.
Well, some people are discussing maybe trading this kid for maybe somebody that can play right now with all the injuries. There's no way I trade this on.
Guzman, base hit. Just beyond the reach of Castillo. And Christian Guzman, maybe this gets him going again. He's 3 for 4 tonight. And Rob Dibble, he turned around a 94-mile-an-hour heater right there.
He may have sensed that Parnell's just trying to get it over. I mean, remember we had our own Daniel Cabrera that constantly had to slow it down to get it over right here. He lays it in, 94. Christian, 3 hits tonight. Has just been smoking the ball all night.
Well, Castillo, great effort. Ball hit too hard. And here's Nick Johnson, 0 for 2 with a walk. Nick is not a number 2 man who's a bunter. If he was, there would be an easy base hit waiting down the third baseline. David Wright is about 35 feet off the line. Look at that.
Well, with this guy, as hard as he throws.
Little ground ball over there by the bag. Nick does drive the ball to left field. Moving over is Fernando Tatis, grabbing it for the first out. Biggest at bat of this game for the Mets was when Tim Redding got Ryan Zimmerman to hit into a 6-4-3 double play with the bases loaded, 1 out, ending the 5th inning and keeping the Nats at 1 run.
I think now you may have to send Guzman to try to get him to second base in a scoring position.
Guzman used to be a very good base stealer with Minnesota, but he's only 1 for 3 this year. ...118 career steals. And that ball's in the dirt. Guzman goes, and he is safe. The throw just a little bit high. And on a ball that got away from Santos, the Nats get their runner in scoring position.
Christian Guzman's going to take a chance right here. Parnell has trouble getting the ball over when he tries to overthrow it. 95 in the dirt. And Christian Guzman gets under the tag.
Well, that's huge for the Nats because Zimmerman's hit into 11 double plays this year. And that takes away that possibility. And because the throw was up,
tagged him high on the shoulder.
Man, that was close. I don't know if the hands were in there when that ball slapped down on his helmet or shoulder or not.
What a great block by a young catcher, though. 95 in the dirt, still stopped it.
Feliciano now joined by Sean Green, the right-hander.
Well, J.J. Puts out of there indefinitely now. Sean Green steps up a notch on the ladder.
Zimmerman 1 for 3. 2-0 count here.
Whitey Herzog gets said, you give me somebody that throws 95 miles an hour, I'll teach him how to throw strikes.
Yeah.
This kid could be your closer in a couple of years.
Had him done waiting. Zimmerman drives it to right. Backpedaling, catching it, Martinez, who almost got himself turned around there. And then not getting back to the bag quickly enough, Guzman could not tag. 2 outs.
He turns the wrong way, and then the young Martinez turns back. Athleticism right there. Christian Guzman thinks it may get over his head. Goes back. He thinks about tagging. Nope. 2 outs. Adam Dunn coming up.
Now
base hit, I score easily.
Dunn.
Yep. I think even if Christian had tagged and got a third, they would have walked Dunn to get to the righty here.
The Nationals do have one left-handed batter, and that's Willie Harris available.
I like Elijah here. He's a good fastball hitter. See what he can do against Parnell.
Both of these teams have stranded lots of runners. 9 by the Mets. It'll be 7 for the Nats if they don't score here. And Willie, of course, still has a sweatshirt on. He obviously has not been called upon to be ready. And it'll be up to Elijah Dukes. And on Black Heritage Night here at the ballpark, Aretha is wailing R-E-S-P-E-C-T on the PA system here. We'll see if Elijah Dukes can earn some of that respect.
There's a telling number right there. Runners in scoring position. The Mets, with all their injuries, 0 for 9.
And the Nats have been retired 3 out of 4 times in situations like this. Dukes with a little chopper right back to the pitcher. The bats have gone quiet over the last week, and we're going to the 9th inning in a 1-1 game. The bottom of their order, while the Nats will go with their closer. You can follow the Nats on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. Visit Nationals.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase. It's not been a good week for Joel Hanrahan. Didn't retire a batter. 3 runs on 4 hits last night. And in the ball game on Tuesday, 1 inning, 1 run on 3 hits. Omir Santos, the catcher, will be hitting for the first time. Jeremy Reed is in the on-deck circle to hit for Parnell. And a line drive to left. Here comes Dunn. Adam has it for the first out. That ball hit a little lower than the one before, and outfielders will tell you it's a great relief when that ball stays below the lights. It'll be Reed now after a 1-pitch out. Jeremy Reed, 27-year-old outfielder. He came over with J.J. Putz and Sean Green. That was a 3-team deal involving the Mets, Cleveland, and Seattle.
Pretty good trade for the New York Mets. If Putz didn't get hurt, but Sean Green and Reed, they're lucky they have Reed. He could play first. He could play the outfield.
Yeah, especially these days.
I had him picked for Rookie of the Year when he came up. He got a lot of talent. Here's his career numbers.
Hit .269 with 31 RBIs for the Mariners last year, 18 doubles. And he pulls it. That ball's fair. Nick Johnson, two-hander hand, 2 outs. Just skipping over the bag before Nick picked it up in foul ground. Top of the order now, Alex Cora. Alex Cora 0 for 3 with a walk. By the way, in the bottom of the 9th, Kearns, Bard, Hernandez, your Nats do-ups. If the inning goes any farther, Willie Harris is available. Manny said before the game that Josh Willingham is considered available. Josh told me he just hardly has enough strength in his arms to hit the ball right now. Took batting practice for the first time this week today.
I don't know if it's true or not. They said an employee for the Mets who was quarantined because of swine flu.
Really?
I guess they went on a trip and came back and had it. I don't know if that's true or not. But
Hanrahan's going to get a 1-2-3 ninth inning here with the help twice of Nick Johnson. The Nats would love dearly to win a low-scoring game. Haven't been many of those this year.
Johnny Holiday, Ray Knight. We'll come back with you in a couple of minutes with the Nats Extra postgame. 2-5 in last at-bats, the record for this ball club this year. Let's make it 3-5 tonight, Ray.
It would be nice to do that, Johnny. We've had some opportunities, some double plays. Real good job from our bullpen. And Martis, although he threw 110 pitches, was effective getting out of jams.
So we got one final shot coming up here in the bottom of the 9th. One final shot in 9-inning play. If they don't do it here, then we go to extra innings. Let's go back up to Bob and Rob.
Thank you, Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight. And the 4th Mets pitcher of the night will be right-hander Sean Green. And by the way, the Mets bullpen at 3.12 has the best ERA in the National League. The second best in all of baseball to Boston's 2.82. So this is nothing unusual for them to have a couple of scoreless innings already. But the Nationals have 4 scoreless innings from their pen. Austin Kearns, Josh Bard, Anderson Hernandez, then probably Willie Harris if it goes any farther here in the bottom of the 9th. And Green has a high ERA, 5.96, 19 strikeouts, 11 walks in 23 innings. Opponents hitting .284 against him. Sidewinder gets the outside corner with a strike. Austin Kearns a base hit up the middle in the 2nd. Fly ball to center in the 4th. Grounder to short in the 6th. Be great to see him get a 2-hit night
Big sidearm curveball by Sean Green. You just need to get a piece, try to get on base any way you can. You slap that thing into right field.
One out. Here's a number for you why the Nats do not want to go extra innings. It's 0-6. Their record, and 5 of those on this field. Washington's had 1 hit since Guzman's double helped to set up the bases loaded situation back in the 5th inning. And that was Guzman with a leadoff single in the 8th.
Well, I think the Mets tried to address their bullpen in the offseason last year. The difference in winning the division and not, they were 3 games worse in 1-run games to the Phillies. They lost the division by 3 games.
Yeah. Josh Bard 1 for 3 with a double. Just beyond the 10 o'clock hour here at Nationals Park in our nation's capital. It's been a 1-1 game since Washington tied it bottom 5 on a base hit, a pinch hit by Alberto Gonzalez. The teams have combined to strand 16 runners.
Well, the Mariners a few years ago, Bob, J.J. Putz was the closer. Sean Green was there. You had Eric O'Flaherty, who's on the Braves now, was a setup guy. And they used to have a heck of a bullpen.
Yeah, that ball club would have scored them any runs. They would have been a championship team out there. 2-2 to Bard. Broken bat, right side. Pitcher had to avoid the bat before he went to first base. 2 outs.
And the final guy was the lefty that's now the closer for the Orioles, George Sherrill.
Wow.
Can you imagine? They had 4 excellent guys in their bullpen. Now the Mariners, one of their problems, they don't have a closer. So they traded them all away to get a lot of great parts in return and left the cupboard bare. Seen a lot of this year. There's the Exmo overhead of Bard's bat just exploding. Wow.
Well, there's Josh Willingham if the inning does continue.
Well, hammer time.
That could be a decoy.
Could be. There's nobody up in the Mets bullpen, so.
And that ball picked by Murphy, and we're going to extra innings. 1 hit since the 5th inning by Washington. Hanrahan, and we'll start with the mid-90s heat of Mike McDougal.
Well, maybe the biggest out of the night, the strikeout of Gary Sheffield. Joe Bima got in a little bit of a jam, but got the rookie swinging, had a big breaking ball. Manny Acta pumped. And then Joel Hanrahan, 1-2-3, top of the 9th inning.
Hanrahan will pitch the 10th.
Time to take our chances in extra innings here. Put that 0-6 extra inning record on the line.
And Rob, I think under a new pitching coach, one of the most interesting case studies will be the young man standing on the mound right now.
Agreed.
2 fastballs, 2 strikes. Now you can throw the hammer if you want.
I told you last night what Steve and I talked about. He said, listen, just get beat with your best pitch. Period.
There's the slider. Castillo went down and got it. I think the idea there is to make the sliders so unhittable they can't do that. Now that ball was low, but Castillo went down and got it.
Oh, he may have been looking for it. You know, I mean, that might be the scouting report. He'll get ahead with some hard stuff and go to the soft stuff. I had that problem for a few years where guys were just sitting there trying to get the slider.
Then you had to stand them straight up, didn't you?
Yeah, occasionally. But you know what? I've talked to Joel about this. You got to bounce that pitch. And it was 0-2.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to stand him up to set up the breaking ball. He's going to learn. He just has to trust his fastball. He's got a great one. Got to trust it. Try to locate it away from people. It's a good pitch. Just keep doing that, though. That's another thing Steve and I said. Don't go away from your bread and butter, even if a guy takes you deep on it. Right there. Nice slider on the outside. Northrop Grumman says it's a strike. I trust him.
3-0. Beltran a double that he turned into an out at third with poor base running, and he's gone 0 for 3 since, not leaving the infield. Two on, nobody out.
Well, had it not been for this play in the 2nd inning, Elijah Dukes gunning out David Wright at 3rd. The replay shows we got it. But didn't get the call.
Darryl Cousins said safe. This is the ground ball that drove him in from Tatis. So 2 on, nobody out here, and David Wright the batter.
Well, it is what it is. Jesus Colome getting up quickly. Right here, you got to be thinking now you may want to throw a breaking ball because you want to get a ground ball double play.
93.
He looks a lot more fluid tonight, though, than he did the last time we saw him. So maybe it's run him out there more.
Daniel Murphy next. David Wright 3 for 4 tonight. 2 bloops and a line drive, and he's now batting .335.
Runners in scoring position, hitting almost .350 this year.
Started the night tied with Guzman at .326, 9th in the league.
I just call that clutch.
Yeah, he's always been that way.
Yep. Well, that's when you have to say, you know what, I'm just going to shorten my swing. He's only had a couple of home runs, but almost 30 RBI.
And part of it is because he hits the ball to right field really well.
Yep, just put the ball in play. Well, I think we have our defense set up one way, and Joel Hanrahan may want to go with something else, but not protecting the line down right field. As you said, he goes to right really well. You don't want to throw him a fastball away and have him hit a double or a triple down the right field line. By direction,
I'm surprised David Wright doesn't have more hits to right field. I wonder if that new ballpark up there is affecting him because it's so deep. Two with 2 men aboard, and David Wright drives it to right center. The Mets will take the lead. Beltran to third. They're going to send him. The relay comes into third, and the Mets lead 3-1.
Well, this is 31 RBI with runners in scoring position. It's a low fastball, not a bad placement down and in, but Wright trying to just put the ball in play. Takes that 93 and puts it into right center field for a couple of RBI and a double.
I just saw Francisco Rodriguez starting to dig around the mound a little bit out in the bullpen. Hasn't started throwing yet. He's their closer. Nobody out. Daniel Murphy, the hitter. And Joel Hanrahan's now given up hits in 3 consecutive appearances on this homestand. Runner going to third, out by a mile. David Wright makes an out at third for the 2nd time tonight.
Well, that's not a wise play right there by David Wright. I know he's trying to make something happen right here, but you got a left-handed hitter. Easy throw for Josh Bard. And he's dead to rights at third.
David Wright's 0 for 3 going to third, but they gave him the bag the time that might have mattered the most. There he is. All 14 saves of him. The Nats have not been able to win high-scoring games, and tonight maybe not able to win a low-scoring game when they've squandered opportunities. It's been frustrating on both ends of that spectrum. Hanrahan with a slider strikes out Murphy. 2 outs.
Three-two slider. Murphy has no shot. Corkscrew in the middle of the ground.
Fernando Tatis 0 for 2 with an RBI grounder. In the bottom of the 10th, the pitcher spot is due up, and then Guzman and Johnson. This all started with an 0-2 slider that was singled into right field by Castillo. Beltran walk and a big blow by David Wright to drive them both in. Fernando Martinez is next after Fernando Tatis. If it gets that far, that ball is hit hard, heading for the bullpen, and it hits at the base of the wall. Well played by Adam Dunn, and Tatis has an extra base hit. Hanrahan giving up 3 hits and a walk.
Now how bad is that being thrown out at third with no outs?
Yeah, we're not sure what David Wright was thinking there. Martinez 0 for 2 with 2 walks. That'll be foul. 81 miles an hour inside to a left-handed batter.
Well, this kid's a rookie too. You want to be dialing up the heat on him. So you can catch up to your good fastball.
That's a slider that gets away, and the runner goes to third. Wild pitch. Counts 1-2 to Martinez. Slider on his hands. Left field line, Adam Dunn cruising to it. Damage done. 2 runs on 3 hits and a walk, and the Nats down by 2. Bottom 10 coming up. And the Nats will need a couple to keep this thing going.
10th inning, David Wright gets some hard heat down low, takes it to right center field. That's your Ford drive of the game.
Francisco Rodriguez, after his 14th save, 222 saves already at the age of 27. Don't know how long he'll pitch, don't know how long he'll stay healthy, but he's a young guy still for this job, Rob. Some guys wait well into their careers before they're installed as a closer. He's been a closer right from the get-go, and he has a chance someday down the road maybe to be the most prolific ever.
If he can stay healthy, like you said. But I mean, he came up in a flash and a flurry, helped the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim win a world championship. They were able to get rid of Troy Percival. Throws hard, throws an even harder slider. Developed a changeup last year. Set the all-time single season save record last year, beating my good buddy Bobby Thigpen's 57. Got 62 saves with the Angels last year.
Willie Harris pinch hitting in the number 9 spot.
Couldn't have come at a better time because he was a free agent. So
Harris 2 for 9 in this role this year. And Willie Harris stays alive.
We saw him up in New York, and I made the comment that he just loves to pitch. And he'll throw to get this save or try to get this save. He may throw 30 pitches.
Yeah, you said he likes to pitch too much.
Yeah, I mean, he'll throw everything in his repertoire to every one of our hitters instead of just throwing 94 and wait until somebody gets a hit to make an adjustment.
Willie Harris just got a nick at it.
I watched him for many, many years out in Los Angeles with the Angels. Here's his delivery. And some people would call it, and I would too, a very violent delivery, but it's very effective. So let you deliver everything towards home plate before you fall to first base. And that's where he's had some problems with his legs and his ankles.
Joe Hanrahan about to go 0-3 unless the Nats rally here. Willie Harris up the middle, not hit that hard. Well played by Alex Cora. Wow. Losing 17 of their last 20. Offense is down. So the Nats are giving up 3 runs for every 2 they score now. As many errors as homers. Lots of non-contact and really bad with runners in scoring position.
If you look at the positive, other than Joel Hanrahan tonight, a very well-pitched ball game by the National staff.
Guzman first pitch swinging. 2 outs. And the Nationals are about to go 0-7 in extra inning games. Nats need another base runner. Nick Johnson ahead of Ryan Zimmerman here in the 10th. Badly needed win if the Mets get it. They're 4 back of the Phillies, trying to break a 3-game losing streak. The Phillies are just underway at the Dodgers tonight with Jamie Moyer pitching. 20,353 at the ballpark tonight. A lot of them chanting "Let's go Mets" right now.
Nick hitting .500 for Frankie Rodriguez.
2-1. The Nats have only won 3 of their last 14 home games now. That 2-9 was a killer. And now it's about to go to 1-3. Nick Johnson fouls it. Ball comes up and hits him. 2-2. Threw him a changeup, almost like a right-hander's screwball there. And the Nats will take a walk here. It's as good as a hit. Zimmerman is on deck.
Well, with the meat of our lineup coming up, you do not want to walk Nick Johnson right here. Give Zimmerman and Dunn a chance.
I think Nick can expect 90-something right down the middle. We'll see. And he throws him a changeup to strike him out and ends the game. How about that?
Well, this is why closers get the big bucks. 3-2 game on the line right there, and he drops an 81-mile-an-hour changeup.
Wow. I think he struck us all out with that one. Nobody expected a pitch like that. Darryl Green got the evening going. The Racing Presidents, well, Teddy lost again. And the Mets beat the Nats 3-1. Hope you can join us again tomorrow night.